In this video you will learn how to implement jQuery Sortable, but not only that, I'm also going to show you how to save the new positions so that even if you refresh the page, the positions will be still there. So stay with me. Hey, what's up guys? Sinead here from CodePassIncome.com, the place where I help others to become a web developer much easier and faster than they will do it on their own. So if that's something that interests you, consider subscribing. So now I'm here at my PHP store. I have created a new project and also an m2 index.php file. So first thing that I'm going to do is I will just declare and create the basic HTML document. Okay, and then I'll maybe change the title to the jQuery Sortable, and then I'm going to include the Bootstrap library. So I'll go to the getbootstrap.com, download, and then I will just use Bootstrap CDN link. Okay, we'll just need the CSS. Okay, and also I'm going to include, or maybe let's first design this. So we will have of course one container, and maybe let's set margin top to the 100 pixels. We will have one row, and in that row I will justify content to the center. Okay, and then we will have one column, let's say MD4 with offset 4, which means that I want to position everything to the center, so we have one column in the center with 4, and then from both sides it will be 4, so it will be exactly in the center. And then here I'm just going to create one table. So I will say table class, let's say table stripped, table hovered, and maybe table border. Okay, and in this table we need to have table head. Okay, and then of course table body. So now here in the table head I have planned just to make a list of the countries that I have saved in my PHP MyAdmin and MySQL database. So if I go here, I have database jQuery Sortable, and then I have table country, and as you can see here in this table it's ID, name, and about. So those are the three columns that I have, and if you don't have this table, you can download from the link in the description below. So here in the table head, I'm just going to create one row and maybe one column. Let's just say country name, I mean nothing special. And here in the table body, we need to list all of those countries. So for that reason, I will just write directly PHP code here, because that's the only thing that you are going to do, and I'm not going to load it dynamically because I know there's just a few countries in there. So I will create a new variable connection and say new MySQL localhost. Okay, and then username is root, password is empty, and then the table is jQuery Sortable. Okay, so I hope you can guys see this. Okay, so now we need to create one SQL. So I'll say connection query, and then we will say select ID name from country, and that's it. Okay, and then we will say while data equal SQL fetch array, we are going just to echo this table row. So we'll say table row, close it, and then a column like this, and here I will just specify the name, so I'll say name. Okay, and this ID we are going to use later. I will show you in a moment. So let's just check what we have got so far. So when we refresh, jQuery Sortable, so what is the problem? Okay, it needs to be like this, and here we go. That's our table. With nice hover effect, and that's it. But as you can see now, we are not able just to move those rows anywhere. So for that reason, we are going to implement the jQuery Sortable. So I will go to the code.jQuery.com, and then I will use the minified version of the jQuery. Okay, I will paste it here, and then we also need to use UI. It's here, and I will just go to the minified again, copy and save it. Okay, so now once we have those two libraries, we are able to write jQuery code that we will need. So here I will say that on the document.ready, which means we are waiting for the page to load, we will set on the table body sortable. Okay, and now if we go here and refresh, you will notice that I am able to move those rows. But the problem is that if, for example, I move Afghanistan down here and hit refresh, you can see that it's again loaded at the top, which is the problem, and we want to maintain so that each time when we make a change, we will also change the position of the country in this database, so that once we refresh, it will always have the same position that we wanted. So for that reason, I'm going to add a new column here in this table. So I'll go to the structure, add one column, and then I will say position, and I will hit save. Okay, so at the moment all positions are 0, and that is going to change soon. Okay, so here I will also say select ID name from country, but order by position. Okay, so at the moment it will probably stay the same. No, it's not going to stay the same because it's all zeros, but that's okay. We will just for that reason be able to move and change the positions we want. Okay, so now what we want to do is to detect when some change happens. So for that reason, in the sortable, so for those of you that want to learn more, you can go to the jQuery Sortable. Okay, here, and here you have a clean explanation from the jQuery UI website about everything. If you go to the API documentation, you'll be able to see all the methods that they have and everything that you can achieve with Sortable. But actually what is very important for us is update. Okay, so as you can see, it says that this event is triggered when the user stopped sorting and the DOM position has changed. So that means that when we make this move, then this update will fire. Okay, so for that reason we will write it here. So I will say update, and then in here I will write the function. So as you can see here, they say that we can receive event and UI, we can use it, but for our case it's not that much important. So first thing that I want to show is I want that we print to the console this, so that you know what it is and what we can get from this. Okay, so if I hit refresh here, F12, and then make a change, as you can see I get table body, and in here what we are interested in are the children, and basically the children are all, as you can see when I go over, are all the rows that we have here. So we can say here that we want to go through all rows, all children's. So I'll say this dot children dot each function. Okay, and then we will say this like index. So when we say now try to print to the console index, you can see that basically that is this index here, 0, 1, 2, 3, and that's exactly when we go with the mouse over, you can see it says it's 0 position. It's basically the index of the row. So when we hit refresh, make a change, here we go. That's it. So this is exactly what we are looking at. So for that reason, in order for us to know is there any change in the position, what I would love to do is to actually to this table row to add some attributes. So first attribute that I would love is data index, which will represent the index in our table here, and that is basically this ID. Okay, so I will just copy ID, and then the next attribute is data position, which is basically our current position in the table. So here we will say position. Okay, and now if we refresh and go to the inspect, we can see that every table row have its own index and data position, which at the moment of course is 0. Okay, so now what I want to do is that we actually here in the when we go through each and every table row, I want that we actually compare the current index and the saved position in the database. So if there is a difference, we are going to update it, and also we will save the new position so that we can make an update in the database. Okay, so here I can say that we will check if this, which is current row, dot attribute data position different than index, and as you can see it is starting from the 0, so I'm increasing it for 1 here. If it's different, we are going to update, so I'll say this dot attribute data position is equal to the index plus 1, and then also I want to add a class changed or maybe updated, whatever. So the position is updated. So let's see what will happen now. Okay, so refresh, and now if I make change here, you can see now that all table rows has been updated, the data position is correct now, and we have added class updated. But if we refresh, and then if we try only to move this one, now we can see that we have also updated the position for the first 3 because it is different. But once we have in the table here we have the real positions, it won't happen to all columns. Okay, so now this part is working, and all that we need to do is to to actually, after we finish this part here, we will just make an update in the database. So let's say we will have one function, save new positions, and then here I will write it. So maybe let me do this. So I'll say here function save new positions. So let's say we'll have one variable, positions equal an array, and then I want that we go through all class updated dot each function, and here we will save to this array, we will create a new array and then save let's say it will be position and or maybe index comma position. So we will know that first element in this array is index and the second one will be position. Okay, and that's it. And then also I want that we remove class updated so that we don't update it each and every time. Okay, so that's it. Now all that we need to do is to actually make an Ajax call to our server. Sorry guys. Okay, so let's say URL will be this index.php file. The method will be post, and then data type is going to be, let's say, text. That's what is returned from the server. And then let's say the data that we are sending to the server, let's say update 1, and then we'll send positions as positions. So here I am using update, just it's my way to have like a key that will be unique for every Ajax call, just in case that you have multiple Ajax calls to the same page. Okay, and then we will say here success function response. That's what is returned by the server. So let's say we will just print to the log whatever the server returns. Okay, and now of course we need to write this in the PHP. So here at the top I will say if is set post, and then let's say update, which is the key that we used. We will get the positions, so we'll say for each post positions, I believe it's positions, yep, as position. What we are going to do, we will just actually make an update in the table. So maybe let's get this line to the top because we will need it. So I'll include it here. So we need it here, and also we will need it down here. So for that reason I have moved it to the top. And here I know that index is at position 0, and then our new position is at position 1. Okay, and then we will just say connection query update country set position equal new position where ID equal index, and that's it. And then we will just say exit success. Okay, so let's make a test. So I will refresh. Okay, open network. So when I change those two, as you can see, I have made a new post to the index PHP. Here are all that we have sent. Okay, cool. And the response is success. But let's actually check our table. So I'll go to the country, and as you can see now, the positions have been updated. And let's see what will happen when we refresh the page. So as you can see now, the positions have been saved. But let's now try to make a change for those two. Okay, and now, I mean, we can check it here, but basically, as you can see, the first one that has been changed is 32, which is basically the one of these. We are not touching those first three that we didn't change the position. And of course, if I go down here and then make change only for those two, okay, check now this index, and as you can see now, we have made switch in the positions only for those two, because we have implemented here that only on the changed we are adding the class updated, and then here we are going through the updated and then saving the new position. And of course, if we refresh, it will stay the same. So I can grab this, move just to the top, refresh, and it stays here. So pretty much, guys, that's it. I hope that this is very easy to understand tutorial. I hope that you like it, and if you do, please like it and share it to your friends. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. Take care.